This is an instructional video with how I shoot my weddings. I have taken a Flycam Redking and I've actually modified it with batteries on the bottom for counterweights instead of the weights that were included with it. I do have one weight on there for my particular camera because I'm using the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro, so it's a little bit of a heavier camera. But I have two NPF 970 batteries with one of those counterweights at the bottom, and it seems to work wonderfully. I have been using it for several weddings, and I'm liking the way it feels. And I also purchased the Andycine battery plate, and the battery plate actually has a USB output, a USB-C. It also has a D-tap power output. Unfortunately, that D-tap outlet, according to Andycine, only runs at 7.4 volts, the voltage of the battery, but it's still pretty cool to have. I use the USB-C because it actually puts out 12 volts. And I use that in conjunction with Andycine's USB-C power cable for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. And I have the 6K Pro, and it seems to work wonderfully with it. I don't think it's probably charging the battery. I don't think that those batteries are able to put off enough amperage to power the camera and do that. But and I also put that exclusively powering the camera. I just think that's probably a good idea. And then I have two batteries at the bottom. The other battery is powering my Tilta follow focus, and I'm actually able to adjust the focus as I'm moving around. I usually have to stop my move and change my focus. I'm not able to focus as I'm going just because of how I'm holding the whole rig, but it seems to work really well for me. I've used it with my classic Contact Zeiss 24mm lens, and it works really well. I actually like that setup. I prefer that setup. And then I also have my 24-70 2.8 from Canon. It's a little bit heavier, but it also works. It's difficult to counterweight that particular lens, so the 24 does work a little bit better. But I like it. It's working really well for me. From my other Sled's battery, I run up a USB-C cable, and I've converted that to 12 volt, and I'm able to power my follow focus, or actually a light as well. I've used it with lights before as well. And then I also run up a USB, micro USB to plug into the follow focus when I am using a light, and then it's just 5 volts at that point. So the USB-A port is 5 volts, and the USB-C port is up to 12 volts, so it works really well. I love that Andycine put out this particular battery plate that's able to do all of these things. It's awesome. So try it out. It might work really well for you as well, just modifying this Sled. I like how smooth the shots are that I'm able to capture that way. My favorite thing about the battery plate is the ability to be able to charge directly on the battery plate. So basically, I'm able to take my whole rig and plug it directly into the wall and charge in between takes. So I never run out of battery power. I've made it through 8-hour, 10-hour weddings and not had to change the battery. I might have to switch them out a couple of times. I do that because obviously there's more draw on the camera than there is on the other battery. So halfway through, I do switch those out at the bottom of the Sled, but it works really well. And so I would recommend this to other wedding videographers. It's a good way to capture a wedding.